Hi there, Lemonheads. It's Monique Pressley here with The Week with Monique. I'm offering up one thing to you that I want you to focus on and pay attention to that maybe isn't getting the coverage that it deserves. And this week, it is the Trump administration's targeted, intentional, attempted erasure of Black history and Black people. If you haven't been seeing the news coverage about this issue, let me catch you up to date. From Black Press USA, Trump targets a slavery removal from the National Museum of African American History and Culture. The museum's slavery facts and substantiating artifacts of the 250 years of the enslavement of Africans in America, curated by historians, are the latest bullseye for the Trump administration. So through executive order, President Trump, the president of the United States that some of y'all elected, has targeted the mentioning of slavery and slavery artifacts in the National Museum of African American History and Culture. He's targeted that for erasure. Why? Because there's an innate desire to rid this country of anything that reflects the hideous, horrendous, horrific, criminal actions that were taken by the people who led this country in the past. There's a complete desire to put us back in a subclass system where we were before and to eliminate all of the proof that it was done by force, by criminality, through murder, through assault, through rape, through subjugation, through suppression, through oppression. That's where we are right now. Let me give you one more article that I thought, and you know what, you can check for BBC, Politico, U.S. News and World Report, Black Press USA. A whole bunch of people have done Substacks on it. Baller Alert's been talking about it. The Hill has been talking about Trump attempting to whitewash history through these executive orders. But in the U.S. News and World Report, they discuss how since Inauguration Day, Trump's been blazing a path of destruction through nonpartisan institutions being attacked. And what they mean by this is the Black History Museum, the African American History Museum, the Blacksonian, that law that enabled it to happen was passed by President George W. Bush. And the museum was actually opened under President Obama. Y'all seen that picture with President Bush, the second President Bush, sitting there with our forever FLOTUS, Michelle Obama, and they just holding hands and smiling and hugging on each other for dear life, just so happy. That was at the opening of this museum because everybody who desired to at least acknowledge the substantive contributions of Africans who were forced to come to this country, who were enslaved and then later allegedly freed, but the freed part didn't stick. Black folks, everybody who recognized the importance of the contribution and the desire of those who are still here contributing to be acknowledged. Everybody. And the law was 100 years in the making, was started by Black veterans, military veterans who didn't want their contributions to be erased. Our dear beloved congressman, who has since transitioned, who's a hero of ours, Congressman John Lewis, had to introduce the law 15 times before it was passed in order to get the museum built. There were significant history-breaking numbers of $1 million donors who made this happen. There was bipartisan voting in order for it to happen. And now, the Trump administration wants to erase all of it. So I want to give you some facts. I always come to you with facts. I've been giving you facts so far, but I want to give you some facts for you to understand why this issue matters. If you're looking at me right now, maybe you are not Black, you are not brown, because the Latino Museum is in the works, so you should care. Maybe you're not Jewish, because certainly the Holocaust Museum could be next in the erasure. Maybe you're not a woman, and you don't realize that once they finish with the Black folks, once they finish with the brown folks, once they finish with the Jewish folks, they're all the while attacking the women folks. So any recognition of women's contributions in history, they're already trying to erase those as well, even if the woman is not Black, brown, Jewish. Maybe you're just a person in America who's trying to figure out how to buy some eggs, and you don't understand the importance of us not just learning our history, knowing our history, but acknowledging our history and leaving places where those who never experienced it, thanks be to God, can learn about it so that it is not repeated. Maybe you don't understand that the first step to erasing people is erasing the history of the people. So, just a few facts and then I'm out of your way. This museum was created for the people, by the people. For the people, by the people. It wasn't a few big money donors. Everybody came together to create this, and bipartisan, as I said, blue party, red party, green party, purple party, everybody came together to do this in a bipartisan support of a beloved public trust. Black Civil War veterans, Black military veterans in 1915 first started trying to create a memorial for Black Americans on the National Mall. And it took 100 years. These were Union Army veterans. These were people who bravely fought for you, for me, for our ancestors, for the opportunity for us to be able to put stones in the ground and remember our victories. Remember places where good triumphed over evil. Remember places where we were able to say, we matter, we contribute, we count, see us here. The NMAAHC, after it was signed into law in 2003 by President George W. Bush. 13 years later, in 2016, the museum opened with our first Black president, Barack Obama. It has amassed a collection of over 40,000 objects housed in the first green building on the National Mall. There are artifacts there that are rare, that are unique, collections from significant figures, I hope to us all. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Thurgood Marshall, you know, had to do it. In less than 10 years, the museum has surpassed 12 million visitors, making it one of the Smithsonian's most popular institutions. Visitors spend more time than double the amount of time per average visit than any of the other museums. In the year of the 70th anniversary of the murder of Emmett Till, the Blacksonian remained the place that the Till family entrusted Emmett's casket, currently enshrined in a sacred room for visitors to properly understand how this and many other moments transformed America. Personal story. I was on the National Mall the day that, well, two personal stories. One, I was on the National Mall the day that this museum officially opened and was dedicated, the day of all the smiling shots when Congressman John Lewis was there, President Bush was there, President Obama, First Lady Obama. I was there, I was a part of that celebration and had walked through in a previewing of the museum, but stood in the line to walk through again that day. And I can't describe the feeling on the National Mall. I can't describe the heart spaces that were open in somewhat disbelief that something so grand and so future forward while history acknowledging was for us, about us, powered by us, in honor of us. It matters. And I will never forget that day. Second story, when my parents came to visit and I first was able to take them to the museum, and we did it the right way. You're supposed to start down at the bottom with the stories of the passage and with the telling and the retelling and the showing of what it was like for our ancestors to be pulled from their homeland, our homeland in Africa, and to be brought by force to the United States. Those who did not drown, those who did not jump, those who did not die on the journey, but made it here. That story is on the very lowest level of the museum, and you work your way up. And when my parents came, my mom and dad, they did okay on that bottom level. It was a visited history. It wasn't until we came a couple of levels up and my mom sat at the replica, the reenactment of the sit-ins at the food counters, that she put her face in her hands and sobbed, because she lived that history and she had her own sit-in story to tell. And she talks about to this day how it really just touched a space in her to see us and our story told in a way that had never been before. We can't let that die. There shall be no erasure of us. So we're asking you to do these things. The social campaign is hashtag #MySmithsonian, hashtag #MySmithsonian. And we want everybody who cares to give their own stories of why it's important to share the threat that the Blacksonian and all of the other museums are under, just for truth telling, just for culture uplifting, just for wanting us to not be dumb to who we are, to where we've come from, but also same thing you see happening at the Kennedy Center. And just go back and look at my prior segments and you'll understand why they want you dumb, why anti-intellectualism is the key to totalitarian government. It's the key to fascism. It's the key to an autocratic way of life, which is not what we're trying to do here. So we want you to, one, post a real photo or memory of visiting the Smithsonian, visiting the African American History Museum. Emphasize personal and profound memories, touch points, just the way I just shared a couple with you, and why it's valuable to the community. And then end it with, that's my Smithsonian story. What's yours? We need you to donate. We need you to become a member. And we need you to use your voice and your platform. You have one. You got a phone. You got a platform to share so that we can stop this. It shouldn't happen on our watch. Please take these action steps. Hashtag #MySmithsonian. As I've just told you, my Smithsonian story. I'm looking forward to hearing yours. Until next week, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Monique Pressley channel. Watch Make It Make Sense there, noon daily, and watch all the other content that I'm putting up. Until next week, Stay safe out there.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.